Hey, what's good people? It's your boy Marco Jack. Thank you so much for tuning in to another Divicati video. We're all about that personal development, growth, all that good stuff. Today's topic, we're gonna talk about why self-awareness is your booster or our booster, everyone's boosters to more personal growth. I love this topic. I'm super excited and psyched to get into today's topic. But before that, do you like the lighting? I got some of your feedback and I upgraded it a little bit. Boom, there I got it. So hey, thank you so much for the people that told me that, Marco, we're gonna up your lighting game a little bit. Got that. So here I am today. Appreciate the feedback and let's just jump right into the video. Boom. Before we address the why of self-awareness, let's first define what is self-awareness, and this is Google's definition. Self-awareness, conscious knowledge of one's own character, feelings, motives, and desires. Yeah, so basically it's just understanding yourself, but there's so many different levels and facets of it. You can always know yourself just a little bit more. But you may ask, hey Marco, I'm myself, so why do I have to know myself? That's a good question. That's a good question. Let me think about it. I got it. We have to know ourselves more because most of us actually don't know ourselves as much as we think we do, and we can. So biologically, because we're biological animals, right? We only use around 95% of our brain when we make decisions. So most of our actions and behaviors are driven by our subconsciousness. What? Really? We are driven mostly by our subconsciousness, and that's why we gotta know ourselves, because there's so much potential in actually understanding ourselves more, and that way we can really understand where our behavior is coming from and how to optimize our subconscious and our beliefs so that we can really achieve what we are set to achieve and not just being driven by our animal instincts, if you know what I'm saying. Yes, most of our behaviors, 95%, is driven by our subconsciousness, our patterns, our instincts. So ask yourself, are you the thought that drives the behavior, or are you reacting to your impulses? It's okay if you feel like you're always being reactive and all like that, because we all can gain just that little bit more self-awareness. Like everyone can, including myself, right? And here's the thing. With self-awareness comes with ample of benefits. By understanding our own psychology, it gives us clarity to what we need to know, what we need to do to really get to where we want to be, or simply just know where we want to be. Because sometimes I ask people, hey, what do you want in life? What's your vision? They say, I don't know, but that's okay. No judgment there, because everyone sort of has to discover themselves and ask themselves those questions. Sometimes those answers won't just come to you. Okay, so having more self-awareness gives us more clarity. Now the question is, how do we gain more self-awareness? Where should we start? What should we be asking ourselves? Some things that I asked myself that really helped me in my journey was like, what are some things that make me happy? Where is my source of depression? What I'm really good at? What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? What are some fears I have to face? What are some things I need to do? What's my 5-year vision? What's my purpose in life? What are some bad habits I should quit? What are something I should improve on? Right? So as you can see, there's so many levels of self-awareness, and it's okay if you don't feel like you're mastering all of them, because we can all just take it a step at a time. There's still so many things that I need to understand in my back of my psychology. Sometimes I just don't understand my feelings. Sometimes I don't understand why I think a certain way and why I do a certain thing, and that's okay, because we can all always dig just a little bit deeper into ourselves and naturally, with divine timing, allow those answers just elicit into our conscious part of our brain. So it's all Gucci. A technique I like to use is just to type out all the thoughts I have in my head and answer all the questions, just to basically brain dump all the stuff, right? But I'm gonna make another video on how to increase your self-awareness, which is a video that's coming up. Let's go back to today's video and today's topic. So hypothetically speaking, you answer all these questions. So what would happen now is you have clarity, you have a sense of why, you have meaning after your answer, like, you know, what is your purpose in life? What is your 5-year vision? Why do you like to do certain things? What makes you happy, right? These are powerful questions that if you really, no BS, understand those answer to those questions, then, you know, again, clarity comes, meaning comes, a sense of why comes, and you know what would follow? Motivation would naturally follow, because motivation always follow a good why, a good meaning, a good purpose, right? Now you know what you want, you know why you want it, and the next thing you just need to know how to do it and to figure out the how. And it's not really hard to figure out the how nowadays, right? But so much information and knowledge available in your hands with a simple Google search or a Bing search. Prior to self-awareness, you know, when people ask me like, hey Marco, what do you want to do? Like, you know, like, what are some of your interests? What are your passions? What's your purpose in life? Like, you know, what gives you meaning? I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know these answers. But once you sharpen your self-awareness and actually put in the work to figure these questions out, now the next time people ask you, you say, hey, you know what? I'm not too sure, but I have an idea. Or maybe you can say, yeah, you know what? I figured it out. This is what I want to do, da 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 da, and you can have a conversation about that. It's not really about answering people's questions, but more to give yourself that fulfillment in life and help you get that motivation to go out and kill it out there. Because I said, you know, self-awareness leads to clarity on different facets of clarity as well, but it's huge. I feel like, you know, self-awareness is definitely the first step to boost your personal development and really, you know, be excited to want to actually do it and don't feel like it's a freaking chore just because someone tell you, you know, like read a book or something like that. No, because you want to read that book. Why? Because you want to succeed. Why? Because you have a personal mission or a vision in your life that means something to you, and that you know that this is the reason why I'm working hard. It's because of XYZ. And so, you know, you're able to use that to battle that procrastination voice. I'm going to share a personal story of mine of how self-awareness can help you and how it has helped me in my journey. So, you know, this was back in 2008. I was in Edinburgh, I was studying, but I was not very happy in this period of my life. You know, I was very depressed. It was my first time really step into a depressed state, and I consider myself a fairly positive dude. And so, you know, I didn't leave the house or anything like that every day. I would just, you know, spend my time in my bed, maybe do the work I need to do. And then it's funny though, you know, like at night when things are quiet and there's no one on the street, I would just, you know, put on my jacket and I'll go out and I'll, like, you know, contemplate, and I'll walk around the town and just really have that peace and silence for myself and ask myself those tough questions. So like, Marco, so what's unhappy, man? And then I, you know, one question leads to another. I thought about when was the happiest time of my life, and I was like, oh, okay, here, oh, it's actually with my family. And then, okay, so what's happening with my family now? I was like, oh, it's not so good. Why? Blah blah. So, you know, I just got really deep and really deep just into my own psychology, and I finally realized, oh wow, the reason I wasn't truly happy is because of an incident or trauma that happened with my family back when I was in like grade 8. I'm like, whoa, that's powerful, because I wasn't aware of that. I didn't know that affected me. I thought that was the past and it didn't affect me now because, you know, it's been, you know, several years now. But no, what happened was during that time of trauma, when it happened, I sort of just blocked off that energy. My way of coping was not to think about it. But now I didn't know that energy was still registered in my subconsciousness, in my body, or I don't know what happened. But after being aware to it, and I had to face it, it wasn't easy, but after that period was done, I feel way more lighter. I don't have to avoid thinking about that subject. When I think about that subject, I feel good because I conquered it, and it gives me more energy. Now I'm just, you know, like, I have more capacity to deal with other things in my area of my life. So that's one way of how self-awareness can help you and help everybody in life. So, you know, that's why I find it so beautiful. A couple. To summarize a little bit, self-awareness can act as a booster to our personal growth because it gives us clarity. And with clarity, as mentioned, comes with meaning and motivation, which is super powerful. In the next video, we are going to cover my favorite techniques to increase that self-awareness, and it's pretty juicy, so make sure you check us out next week or hit that subscribe button, all that good stuff. Hey, and if you feel like you want a little bit more growth and you're trying to find out ways to kind of go over your blockages, your limiting beliefs, and you just basically want someone to help you, something to help you, check out divicati.com, because apart from doing content like this, we also provide transformational life coaching. And if you feel like you resonate with the content, you resonate with what we say, then check us out and let's have a conversation, book a consultation, and we'll just go from there. Yeah, at Divicati, we're all about that personal development, empowerment, helping you become the best that you can be, just to create a more conscious and loving world for everybody, man. So thank you so much for tuning into this video. I hope it served you well, and I'll see you next week. Namaste. Peace.